Good morning, students. Today we will do chapter number 2, that is solution. It is of 5 marks, out of which 3 marks is numerical and 2 marks is theory. So what is solution? You have already studied in class 11. Solution is homogeneous mixture of 2 or more components. Component in large amount is known as solvent and component in small amount is known as solute. Solvent is denoted by capital A and solute by capital B. Now we will be dealing with binary solution. Binary solution means solution containing only 2 components. Now there are different types of solutions. Gaseous solution, in which the solvent is always gas, whereas solute can be gas, liquid or solid. These are the examples. Then we have liquid solution, in which solvent will be liquid and solute can be gas, liquid or solid. And examples are also given. Then solid solution, similarly, solvent is always solid and solute can be different like gas, liquid and solid. And examples are already written. Now, what are the various means of expressing concentration of solution? First of all, what is concentration? It is the amount of solute dissolved in a particular amount of solvent. First method is mass percentage. Mass percentage you can calculate just as you calculate your percentage in your suppose any subject like maths. कैसे निकालेंगे mass में percentage? Marks of mass upon total mass into 100. Similarly, we can calculate mass percentage of any component, that is equal to mass of the component, given component, divided by total mass of the solution into 100. For example, when we talk about 10% NaCl solution in water, that means 10 grams of NaCl dissolved in 90 grams of water, so that total becomes 100. Always percentage is 100. So 10% means 10 grams of NaCl dissolved in 90 grams of water. Number 2 is volume percentage, that is volume by volume. Similar pattern पे instead of mass we will take volume of the component upon total volume. Then we have mass by volume percentage, mass of solute upon total volume into 100. Parts per million, ppm. It is defined as number of parts of the component divided by total number of parts of all the components into 10 raised by 6, that is equal to 1 million. तो यहाँ पर we will take 1 million, not 100. Percentage में 100 होगा, but when we talk about parts per million, then we have to take 10 raised by 6. Right? Now, next means of expressing concentration is mole fraction. Everybody knows mole fraction is what? It is the ratio of number of moles of the component to the total number of moles of all the components in solution, denoted by chi. Chi A means mole fraction of A, which is equal to number of moles of A divided by total number of moles. When we are talking about binary solution, so we have only 2 components, so total number of moles becomes Na plus Nb. Similarly, chi B is equal to number of moles of component B divided by total number of moles in the solution. Just you have in probability, total probability is 1. Similarly, total mole fraction is also equal to 1. So knowing chi A, you can find out chi B through this relationship. Now, for n number of components, you can say chi n is equals to Nn upon total number of moles. And it is a dimensionless quantity. Why I am saying it is dimensionless, unitless? Because if you see the formula, number of moles upon number of moles, so units cancel with each other. Next is molarity, very very important, capital M, denoted by capital M. It is defined as the number of moles of solute dissolved in 1 liter of solution. Again, it is the number of moles of solute dissolved in 1 liter of solution. Now formula is Nb upon V. What is Nb? Nb is number of moles of B. B is solute upon volume in liters. If it is not in liters, then you have to convert into liters by multiplying by 1000. So 1000 is conversion factor to convert ml to liters. And full and final formula becomes molarity is equal to Wb. Wb is the mass of the solute divided by molecular mass of solute. Mb is molecular mass of B solute into 1 upon V into 1000 in case volume is in ml. And what is the unit of molarity? Moles per liter. because from the formula moles per liter, or simply you can say capital M, right? Now last means of expressing concentration is molality, that is denoted by small m. Again, you have already done in class 11th. It is defined as the number of moles of solute per kg of the solvent. Again, I repeat, it is defined as the number of moles of solute per kg of solvent. Formula is moles of solute divided by mass of solvent in kgs. It should be in kgs. NB upon WA in kgs. And if it is not in kg, then you have to convert it into kgs. Like if it is in grams, then this is a conversion factor to convert into kg. Only then 1000 will appear. The full and final formula becomes WB upon MB into 1 upon WA into 1000 in case WA is in grams. Now as far as unit is concerned, it is from the formula itself, it is number of moles per kg. So the unit becomes moles per kg, or simply molal, or small m. You can say small m. So molality is better means of expressing concentration than molarity. Why? Because when we are dealing with temperature dependent experiment, because molarity decreases with increasing temperature, whereas molality is independent of temperature. Now what is solubility? Solubility is maximum amount of a substance that can be dissolved in a particular amount of solvent. It depends upon the nature of solute and solvent and temperature and pressure. Very, very important. It depends upon temperature and pressure. Now let us discuss about solubility of a solid in a liquid. For example, when you dissolve sugar in water, that is specific example I have taken. Solubility of any solid in a liquid. Polar solute dissolves in polar solvent and non-polar solute dissolves in non-polar solvent. Dissolves in non-polar solvent. In chemistry, कहावत है like dissolves like. That in polar solute in polar solvent and non-polar in non-polar solvent. Now what is saturated solution? Saturated solution in which no more solute can be dissolved at same temperature and pressure is called saturated solution. Now we will study the effect of temperature. Effect of temperature if solution is saturated, that means no more solute can be dissolved in it, and the dissolution is endothermic. Endothermic means heat is absorbed. Heat is absorbed, delta H is less than 0. Then solubility increases with the increase in temperature. And if it is exothermic, that means heat is evolved, delta H is greater than 0, positive, then solubility decreases according to LCP, Le-Chatelier principle. Now for example, let us take a small example. When you want to dissolve sugar in water, it takes a lot of time. If you want to increase the speed, how can you increase the speed? Garam karke. If you heat the solution, na microwave mein rakh do. If you heat the solution, immediately sugar will get dissolved. Right? That means if you are increasing the temperature, the solubility will increase. Sugar फटाफट से dissolve हो जाएगी. But normal temperature पे it will take a lot of time. So this is an example you can correlate with this. Now what is the effect of pressure? There is no effect of pressure on the solubility of solids in liquids. Why? Because solids and liquids are basically incompressible. Solids cannot be compressed. So basically there is no effect of pressure on solid, dissolution of solids. And now let us study solubility of a gas in liquid. Abhi tak we were doing solubility of solid in liquids. Now we are going to do solubility of gas in liquid. Now it is affected by temperature and pressure. दोनों का effect होगा इसमें. Because gas are highly compressible. So pressure also will affect solubility of gas. Now let's study first effect of pressure. Now solubility of gases increases with the increase in pressure. Now what is the quantitative relationship between pressure and solubility of a gas? That is given by Henry's law. Very, very important topic, Henry's law. Now what is Henry's law? Henry's law states that at a constant temperature, solubility of a gas in a liquid is directly proportional to the pressure of the gas. Again, see, at a constant temperature, solubility of a gas in a liquid is directly proportional to the pressure of the gas. P is directly proportional to chi. Chi is means solubility over here. And if you remove this proportionality constant, equals to लगाएंगे, a proportionality constant is going to be there, and that is called Kh, where Kh is nothing but Henry's law constant. P is the partial pressure of the gas, chi is mole fraction of the gas, and Kh is Henry's law constant. Now what do you mean by partial pressure of the gas? एक तो प्रेशर होता है और एक पार्शियल प्रेशर. पार्शियल प्रेशर मतलब इफ़ यू हैव अ कंटेनर इन विच यू हैव 1 2 3 कंपोनेंट, 3 गैसेज हैं ABC. So every gas will exert its own pressure. So its individual pressure in a solution of 3 gases, that is called partial pressure of A. B का क्या होगा? B ने कितना pressure exert किया उस solution में, that is partial pressure of B. Similarly, PC is partial pressure of C in the solution of 3 gases, right? So this is partial pressure of the gas, whatever you are taking. Now graphical representation of Henry's law, it's a straight line graph. If you plot pressure versus chi, it is going to be a straight line graph, and slope will give you the value of Kh, Henry's law constant. Now one very important thing about Kh is different gases have different values of Kh at same temperature. That means Kh will depend upon the nature of the gas. कौन सा gas हमने लिया, and Kh is inversely proportional to solubility, and Kh is directly proportional to temperature. All these things are very important. Any उसमें question पूछ सकते हैं इसमें reasoning based. For example, aquatic species are more comfortable in cold water rather than in warm water. This is very very important question. Last year it came, last year also it came, and this year also it came. So aquatic species are more comfortable in cold water rather than warm water. Why? Because at high temperature, warm water में क्या होगा, high temperature high होगा तो KH will be high, तो KH value increases. That means KH बढ़ेगा तो solubility will decrease, inversely proportional, right? So at high temperature, KH increases, solubility of oxygen decreases. And as you already know, aquatic species, they take in oxygen dissolved in water. तो जितना ज़्यादा ऑक्सीजन होगा वाटर में डिजॉल्व, दे विल बी मोर कंफर्टेबल. और वार्म वाटर में उनकी सॉलिबिलिटी कम हो जाएगी. दैट मीन्स दे आर नॉट कंफर्टेबल इन वार्म वाटर. क्लियर? दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन. Then you have applications of Henry's law. This is again very very important topic. 2 marks question straight away can come from here. To increase the solubility of CO2 in soft drinks, the bottle is sealed under high pressure. This is the most common example you come across everyday life. कोल्ड ड्रिंक की बॉटल खोलते हैं ना, एकदम से गैस निकलती है. विच गैस इज दैट? कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड. और क्यों निकलती है? बिकॉज कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इज अंडर प्रेशर. कोल्ड ड्रिंक के अंदर दैट इज देयर अंडर प्रेशर. वाई अंडर प्रेशर? बिकॉज सॉल्युबल करना है अगर गैस को, तो उसमें यू हैव टू इंक्रीज वॉट? प्रेशर. अकॉर्डिंग टू हेनरीज लॉ, नो, P इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू सॉल्युबिलिटी. तो ज़्यादा सॉल्युबल करने के लिए ज़्यादा प्रेशर लगाओगे. जैसे ही प्रेशर रिलीज करेंगे वो सारी गैस बाहर निकल आएगी, राइट? Then scuba divers is also very application of Henry's law is scuba divers. Scuba divers must cope up with high concentration of dissolved gases while breathing air at high pressure underwater. Underwater there is low pressure towards the surface, which may lead to bends which are painful and dangerous. So what are bends now? Bends is a formation of bubbles of nitrogen in blood causing blocking of capillaries, which is very fatal. If any bubbles comes in the artery, तो blood supply may get ruptured. Blood नहीं पहुँचेगा तो that may lead to instant death. So these are very harmful and very dangerous. So to avoid these bends, they use scuba divers use tanks filled with helium, air filled with helium. They use tanks, right? This is again very important reasoning question. Anything can be asked from here. Then at higher altitudes, partial pressure of oxygen is less. जितना ऊपर जाएंगे उतना pressure कम होगा. Therefore, low concentration of oxygen is there in the blood. And this condition is called anoxia. Tissues, people living at a high altitude, they have problem in breathing, and this condition is known as anoxia. Right? Now, what is the effect of temperature? अभी तक तो हमने pressure पढ़ा. Pressure का क्या effect है? If you increase the pressure, solubility of the gas will increase. Now, what is the effect of temperature on solubility of gas in a liquid? Solubility of a gas in a liquid decreases with the rise in temperature. See, it is inversely proportional. It decreases with the rise in temperature. Now, we will talk about liquid solution. Solid in liquid, we have already talked about. Solid in liquid and or liquid in liquid, we will talk about now. Okay. Now, vapor pressure of liquid solution. Abhi tak we have dealt with what? With solid in liquid or gas in a liquid. For gas and liquid, which law is there? Henry's law. Now we are going to deal with liquid solutions, and for that another law is there, that is called Raoult's law. Right? You understand the difference between the two? Henry's law is for solubility of gas in a liquid, and Raoult's law is for solubility of liquid in a liquid. Now, what does Raoult law state? It states that for a solution of volatile liquids, what do you mean by volatile liquids? Liquids that evaporate on their own. For example, if you take alcohol on your hand, what will happen? It will go away. So this is a volatile liquid. So for a solution of a volatile liquid, the partial pressure of each component in the solution is directly proportional to the mole fraction of the component. For example, if you have A, component A, so partial pressure of A is directly proportional to the mole fraction of A. And if you remove this proportionality sign, equals to लगाएंगे, so what will happen? A proportionality constant will be there, that is P naught A. Now what is P naught A? P naught A is partial pressure of the pure component A. And what is PA? PA is the partial pressure of component A. Now, what is the difference between PA and P naught A? Most of the time, you will not get to know which one is PA and which one is P naught A. Now, PA is the partial pressure of A. Suppose you have a mixture of two components A and B. अब A and B में A का अपना pressure होगा और B का अपना pressure होगा, right? So that is not pure component. That is not pure because you have mixture of A and B. So उस केस में the pressure exerted by A in a mixture of A and B is PA, and P naught A मतलब you have only A, no B. एक ही कंटेनर में खाली A डाल दिया तुमने, तो that is the partial pressure of pure component A. और एक ही कंटेनर में B डाल दिया, तो that is P naught B, that is partial pressure of pure component B. Clear? What is the difference between PA and P naught A? PA is partial pressure of A in solution, and P naught A is partial pressure of the pure component. And chi is mole fraction of A. Similarly, PB you can say directly is proportional to chi B is equal to P naught B chi B. P total is what? According to Dalton's law, P total is equal to PA plus PB. It is sum of both the components, PA plus PB. PA की जगह we can write P naught A chi A, and PB की जगह P naught B chi B. Now, graphical representation of Raoult's law. What is the graphical representation of Raoult's law? Again, it is going to be straight line graph. If you see, this is PA graph, PA, and this is PB graph. Okay? And this is P total. P total is equal to PA plus PB. And you must see total chi should be equal to 1. If chi A is 1 over here, then chi B is going to be 0. And over here, and यहाँ पर भी total chi should be 1. If chi B is 0, chi is 1. यहाँ पर if chi B is 1, chi A is 0. Right? Total chi should be 1. This is the graphical representation of Raoult's law. Now, अभी तो that was first part, Raoult law first. First किसका था? When you are dealing with volatile liquids, जो evaporate हो रहे हैं. अब second part है when you have a non-volatile solute in liquid. When you have a non-volatile solute. So the solute is volatile. Raoult's law is this. PA is equal to P naught A chi A. But if the solute is non-volatile, in that case, what happens next? This is again very, very important. उसके लिए we need to know what is the vapor pressure. Vapor pressure, it is defined as the pressure exerted by the vapors on the surface of the liquid. For example, you see this is pure solvent, and all these particles are of solvent. When you heat from below, and it is closed container, when you heat from below, heat there, what will happen? These particles will go into vapor phase. All the particles will go in vapor phase. And when they go in the vapor phase, then they will exert pressure onto the surface of liquid. क्या होगा? वो भी तो pressure exert करेंगे ना. So that pressure exerted by the vapors onto the surface of liquid, that is called vapor pressure. Now this is case when you have all the components are volatile. Everybody will go in vapor phase. Now this is the case when we have a non-volatile solute. These big circles are volatile solvent and small circles are non-volatile solute particles. Now again closed container you have taken, you heat from below, what will happen? Only the volatile component will go in the vapor phase, not the non-volatile solute particles. They are going to be there on the surface of the liquid. Why? Because they are non-volatile. They cannot go into vapor phase. वो volatile है ही नहीं, उड़ेंगे ही नहीं. ठीक है? So one thing you can see from here, the number of particles going into vapor phase are now less as compared to when you had pure volatile solvent. उसमें each and every particle was going into the vapor phase, and pressure exerted will be sum of all of them, no? The pressure exerted will be more. But in this case, only the volatile solvent particles are going into the vapor phase. Non-volatile solute particles are on the surface only. That means there is going to be lowering in vapor pressure when you add a non-volatile solute. Clear? So, addition of a non-volatile solute results in lowering of vapor pressure because some of the surface is occupied by non-volatile solute particles. As a result, the number of particles going into vapor phase decreases, causing the vapor pressure to reduce. So, this is very, very important topic. आगे का सारा topic is related to this topic only. That means the lowering of vapor pressure. Now, let's see about Raoult's law. तो Raoult's law में क्या changes आते हैं when you add a non-volatile solute to it. उसके लिए Raoult's law में थोड़ा सा difference है. What does it state in that case? It states that vapor pressure of the solution is entirely due to the volatile solvent alone, and non-volatile solute has no contribution towards the vapor pressure of the solution. As you have already seen, see, जो वेपर प्रेशर है दैट इज बिकॉज ऑफ द वॉलेटाइल सॉल्वेंट अलोन. नॉन वॉलेटाइल सोल्यूट का कोई कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन ही नहीं है टुवर्ड्स द टोटल वेपर प्रेशर. सो राउट्स लॉ ने क्या चेंज किया कि पी टोटल इज एंटायरली ड्यू टू द वेपर प्रेशर ऑफ द वॉलेटाइल सॉल्वेंट. तो यहाँ हमने पी ए लिया, नॉट पी बी. तो पी टोटल इज इक्वल टू पी ए एंड पी ए इज वॉट डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू का ए अकॉर्डिंग टू राउट्स लॉ फर्स्ट, जो हमारा वोल्टाइल सॉल्वेंट का था. तो पी ए इज इक्वल टू पी नॉट ए का ए. पी नॉट ए का ए को व्हाट कैन वी राइट 1 माइनस का बी. खोल दो इसको. आफ्टर सॉल्विंग ऑल दिस यू विल कम टू दिस एक्सप्रेशन का बी इज इक्वल टू पी नॉट ए माइनस पी ए अपॉन पी नॉट ए. नाउ वन थिंग वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एज फार एज न्यूमेरिकल इज कंसर्न, द न्यूमरेटर दैट इज पी नॉट ए माइनस पी ए इज कॉल्ड लोअरिंग ऑफ वेपर प्रेशर. क्या मतलब लोअरिंग? कितना कम हुआ? कितना कम हुआ? प्योर का ज़्यादा था, माइनस तुमने जब नॉन वोल्टाइल सोल्यूट डाल दिया तो कितना कम हुआ? दैट इज लोअरिंग ऑफ वेपर प्रेशर. एंड द होल टर्म न्यूमरेटर प्लस डिनोमिनेटर, दिस एंटायर थिंग इज कॉल्ड रिलेटिव लोअरिंग ऑफ वेपर प्रेशर. रिलेटिव मीन विद रिस्पेक्ट टू पी नॉट ए. तो दिस इज कम्स इन न्यूमेरिकल पार्ट. कई बार क्वेश्चन पूछ लेते हैं कि व्हाट इज द लोअरिंग इन वेपर प्रेशर या व्हाट इज रिलेटिव लोअरिंग ऑफ वेपर प्रेशर. सो यू शुड नो what do you mean by relative lowering. Relative lowering का मतलब है काई भी निकालना है. So straight away you can either find out काई भी या ये पूरा टर्म, अगर ये सारी चीज़ें मालूम है तो ये पूरा टर्म निकाल के you can find out relative lowering of vapor pressure depending upon what is being given to you in the question.